In Luke chapter number 10, verses 1 to 3, we see the mindset or the attitude that the child of God needs to have if we're going to be able to have an advance in missions. And we looked in verse number 1, we saw that first attitude. The first one, of course, is having a purpose, knowing what our job is. And job number 1 is to go where Jesus wants to go, out into the rest of the world, above, beyond, if you will, where the rest of the crowd is, and going to where every creature is, into the rest of our world. Then verse number 2, we saw the gold mine. You remember that. The gold mine is really in finding those partners who can help us in reaching this world, which is like a gold mine, if you will, full of possibilities and opportunities all around us. The harvest truly is great. But now today we come to verse number 3. Jesus says, "Behold, I send you forth as lambs among wolves." Yes, the wild animals. Now, you and I could stay in the safety of the flock and stay with all the rest of the lambs, if you will. Pardon me, I almost dropped the camera there. But if you look beyond out there where the rest of the flock is, where this great harvest is, you find out real quickly that there's wild animals, wolves, if you will. Wolves especially are not very friendly to sheep. And sheep, now we're not just talking about a sheep, a full-grown sheep. We're like lambs. We're like baby sheep, if you will, who don't even know our own way, don't even have a way of defense for ourselves. And for the American mindset, sometimes that comes pretty hard for us, at least for me. Our way is to be pretty aggressive, if you would compare us to the rest of this world. The way of our world in many cultures is more laid back, far more laid back than the American way. Sometimes it gets a little frustrating to the American mindset because we're used to seeing things happen quickly. And to be able to just sit back and trust God, wait on God to work things out, can sometimes stretch us and cause us to have to grow in our patience and trust in God, if you will. And I find that quite often. But friend, in the midst of all the animals, in the midst of all the wild animals, in the midst of all the wolves, thank God, our God is our shepherd who comes to protect us as those lambs. Now, we need to go forth with the attitude of sacrifice, the spirit of a sacrifice, the spirit of a living sacrifice, willing to give ourselves that we might reach the rest of this world. And friend, as long as you and I are worried about our own comforts, our creature comforts, our own way of life, and our own how are we going to end up in the end of days, if you will, at the last of our days in our retirement, we're all worried about those kind of things. We're never going to reach out into the world beyond. Let's get up and get out and go. Let's pay the price. And the price we pay is so very small compared to what our Savior paid for us. Let's forget about the wild animals. Recognize there's a price. But my friend, it's worth it to give our lives for a cause that's greater than us. And a cause that will last into all of eternity. Let's serve our Savior and reach this world, shall you? God bless you.